the Balls Podcast
with Mark Davis, Kriska Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, Alan Tomasella, and Nick the Doc Skirkle.
Happy opening day for the MLB home teams, Luke, not the road teams this year. So happy opening day, your Baltimore Orioles. I know it's a road game. They look pretty good. Also, Lucas is going to be a good draft episode as well.
It's not opening day for them yet.
No. Monday, I believe, is their opening day. A good warm-up, though, for your opening day coming up.
Yeah, practice game. This is a preseason game.
Yeah, I guess. Otherwise, spring training for the MLB fans. But no, Luke, this won't be a baseball episode. This is going to be back to football. We're less than a month away. I know I'm excited. I think you're excited. Maybe not about this position we're going to talk about, but it's the quarterback position. A couple maybe highlight names, obviously, maybe last name wise, maybe Cam Ward wise. Maybe he's exciting. But Luke, we're going to talk quarterback breakdowns tonight, man. I'm a little juiced up, like you said. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this class, but hey, we're gonna try and hype them up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much going on this year's class that's too promising. You may got one or two guys that'll be day one starters, possibly. Maybe really only one that might be a day one starter.
The second one could be, just depends on which team drafts them.
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on what other teams still do, like with like the free agency and trading.
Yeah, well, Luke, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go straight into it. The question, honestly, is who is quarterback number one? Is it Cam Ward or is it Shedeur Sanders? Obviously, Cam Ward played a couple years in Incarnate World and then went to Washington State for a couple of years, and then he came to Miami last year. He had a very good season. Down the line, Miami did lose a couple games, knocked them out of the ACC championship, knocked them out of the playoffs. Didn't think it was his fault necessarily. And then you have Shedeur Sanders, obviously Jackson State with his father. Then they go to Colorado the last couple seasons. You know, good stats, good numbers. Are we a fan of them? We'll talk about that. But Luke, out of these two quarterbacks, who is quarterback number one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really even a question at this point anymore. It's Cam Ward, like for sure. Cam Ward's going to be the number one overall draft pick going in it. Whether the Titans stay there or not, whoever goes up to number one is going to grab Cam Ward, and it's just the way it's going to be. I think it will be the Titans to stick and pick, and he'll be the future here in my current state.
You don't think Tennessee? I think I saw something like where they were talking about maybe 3 first-rounders. Like obviously, 2 really. The one if you swap with the one this year, but then 2 more. You don't think someone takes the bait?
I mean, if somebody goes all in and like leverages their future on Cam Ward, do they think he's that good? It could happen, but I don't see it happening.
Are you a Cam Ward guy?
No, I'm not. I think he's got very poor decision making. He had a lot of bad interceptions that were his fault during the season. Just a lot of lame duck throws. He just take the sack and move on the next play or throw it out of bounds, and just throw. He playing kind of like what Caleb Williams does, just kind of try to make a play happen, and he made bad plays a lot.
Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, I think he tries too much to be Superman. Like he trusts that arm talent too much. Now I think his arm is electric. I think he's got a good ball. He can fit it in the tight windows. I like the arm angles like he does, like how he manipulates the defenses. Kind of reminds me of Stafford and Mahomes a little bit, where he can kind of dip, kind of like a shortstop, second baseman, little sidearm. I don't know. I like him. I think he's the only quarterback I truly like in this class. I think he can get a little sloppy at times. I can see what you're saying. Like he'll stand flat-footed and he'll try and make a weird throw. And
he's kind of weird. Like overall, he just kind of stands in the pocket, not even moving, like lazy. He looks lazy. Sometimes.
He looks lazy, but a lot of times, obviously in the NFL, I don't think you can get away with that. I think you have to be able to step in the pocket.
When he does scramble, it looks like he's walking almost, like when he's running for some yards.
He's athletic though. He can move.
Yeah, he moves. It just looks slow. Like when you're watching him live, it looks so weird to have a quarterback just standing in the pocket flat foot and not moving at all. But he played great this season. Besides, I think his decision making is somewhat questionable, especially under pressure. Miami had a fairly easy schedule this last season, and they had a lot of games that they should have lost.
Virginia Tech was one.
Yeah, they had quite a few games they should have lost, and somehow they got lucky and won them.
I would say his worst game though too was Florida State. He had like 200, I think low 200 something yards. They pulled it out. I mean, it is what it is. But the games later on in the year, I know we watched him lose to, I believe, Georgia Tech when we were in Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
And then I forgot who they lost to. They lost another one after Georgia Tech, which is what knocked them out of the. Was it Syracuse? It was somebody.
Syracuse, yeah.
Syracuse, that's what knocked him out. And I don't think that, like, I mean, you look at the losses. I mean, he put up massive numbers. He looked phenomenal. I don't know. I think he is a game changer. I think if Tennessee builds around him, I think that Cam Ward could be. I'm not saying he's going to go be like Patrick Mahomes or anything like that. But I do think he is special. I think, yeah, opening day, Dylan, we were just talking about that. Luke's a Baltimore Oriole fan himself, and he said it's spring training for the Orioles still.
I root for them, but I don't watch too much baseball.
But no, Luke, I think Cam Ward, I think if the Titans can draft around him pretty well, get the O-line situated, figure out who's going to be alongside Calvin Ridley. I don't know. I think he can be a game changer. Maybe not a needle mover where he's going to make the Titans Super Bowl contenders in the first couple of years.
No, I think the Titans still have a lot of issues they need to address. They did address the O-line last year's draft, and I think a little bit in free agency as well. So I mean, they're putting something together. I think they need another receiver over there. They lost. I mean, they have Ridley, and that's about it.
Burks,
Burks is trash.
Yeah,
he's got one touchdown or whatever.
Tight end's not very good. They still have Pollard and Spears at the running back position.
They're solid. I mean, no game changers really. Pollard had a good season for him last year. I had him in fantasy.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, Spears. I like Spears coming out of Tulane too. He's a stud at Tulane.
Good third down back. He's good. He's a good receiving back.
I scat back.
I think though. Well, back to Ward though. Do you think? I mean, I'm not. I know Jake likes to throw this word around, but do you think like bust or just good, just like average?
I think he'll be an average quarterback, especially going to the Titans. The Titans have been, a below average team for quite a while. I mean, they had a couple years where they went to playoffs and won a couple playoff games under Vrabel, but other than that, they've been pretty much a mediocre team for the most part. They call it the House of Sadness here in Tennessee, the stadium.
They do?
Yeah, so we're building a new one right next to the old House of Sadness. So
there'll be a Super Bowl there.
Yeah, they just put the bid in for 2029.
Oh man, that's getting there. That's 2029. That would be really 3 seasons because they play Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to open season of 27.
That'd be 4 seasons. 4 seasons. Yeah, so that'd be 4 seasons including this one.
Yeah, I think the Super Bowls are already planned out to 2028.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I saw next year they're in California. They're Santa Clara.
They're planned out like 4 years in advance, I think.
Yeah, they normally do a few years in advance. That's gonna be expensive. It'd be a good time. It'd be a good weekend out there.
I know. I'll probably be gone from Tennessee at that point, but we'll see.
Now, Luke, let's talk Shedeur Sanders. That's the guy that, we're looking at right now. Is I believe quarterback 2 is what he's. I saw things that he's closer to quarterback 3 than he is quarterback 1, but I think he is QB 2. What do you think about the Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders?
I think he does a lot of things well. I don't think he does a lot of things great. I mean, he doesn't really have the turnovers too bad. I mean, he had some good receivers with him at Colorado too that helped him out. I mean, yeah, like pretty much 3 studs at wide receiver. I think
he's about to have a top 5 pick this year. I mean, Hunter's going to be a top 5 pick.
Yeah, and then what were the other 2 wide receivers they had?
Then they have was it Horn?
Yeah, Horn, and there's one more that was. Weaver?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, Weaver. Yeah, no.
Weaver. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I liked them. I liked them coming. Oh, I liked them after the first year together.
Yeah, so he had some stud wide receivers, terrible offensive line, and pretty much no rushing game. So, I mean, every Colorado game is pretty much on his shoulders. So, I mean, he can handle the pressure. I don't think he's that athletic. I mean, he's not. He's
average.
Pocket pass. Yeah, he's more pocket passer quarterback. He can scramble a little bit.
He can scramble, but he's not looking to run.
He's pretty accurate when he throws, but
he is accurate. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, he's accurate, but he'll he'll take sacks over throwing the ball out of bounds quite a bit. I don't know. A lot of people are saying I kind of agree that he's stat padding, so his completion percentage didn't look as bad but he was I think he was like number 1 or 2 being sacked quarterback.
Well,
last year.
another thing too is I'm just a sack. Sometimes he leaves the pocket early too. Like it's like that weird like imbalance where he'll like, and I think a lot of that too. Like this is the thing about him is he's hard for me to judge. I like him, but I don't like him at the same time. I think it's hard because his O line sucks so bad, like you said. It's hard because he either gets really scared and he runs early, or he stands in the pocket and I don't know if he's necessarily trying to stat pad or he's just taking hits. I mean, I didn't notice it. I saw, like you said, I saw the reports and I saw like the people that are saying that. I couldn't tell. I mean, if he is, he is. I just think the O line it killed him and it did ruin his confidence at times. No run game. That's not good. Defense sucks. So I mean, like, what do you want him to do? I mean, I don't think he's gonna. I think unfortunately, and that's what I have right here is like I think he could fall. I think he has draft bust vibes. I think that Shedeur Sanders has that vibe to him where it could be a draft bust.
Yeah, I think that number 3 quarterback on the list is very, very close to Sanders. So it might be just the flavor of the day. Whatever team likes a certain quarterback after Cam Ward will be the next guy off the board.
Do you think that Shedeur gets drafted? Like let's say let's play the odds. Do you think he's more likely to get drafted by Cleveland or New York, or he falls to someone like Pittsburgh?
I don't think he makes it all the way down to Pittsburgh. Now, if Pittsburgh trades up to go get him, I see it might be a possibility, but I don't think that's Pittsburgh's thing is to trade up in drafts. Typically,
yeah, they're not typically that aggressive. I know that the
I don't think I would be too aggressive for any of the quarterbacks, anyways. But if he's still on the board when the Steelers are drafting, I can see them definitely taking him. I don't think he'll be there. I think he'll go off in the top 5 just because partly his name and some desperate teams trying to fill a quarterback need.
Well, Dion finally, I know, like I'd give Chris the props. He did say like Shedeur to Cleveland. Now I kind of can agree with Chris because I always had the pessimist of it's what Dion, he didn't have him on his list. He put Cleveland on the list for teams that he would like to. He didn't really have the Titans on there because I think the Titans it's kind of guaranteed they're going to draft or this early right now. So we're a little less than a month away. They're going Cam Ward.
If it's not Cam Ward, it's going to be Carter. So.
Yeah. I think Cleveland I think they are lining up to draft Shedeur. Now that I think Prime gave his blessing, like in a way that's his blessing, I think that he won't fall in the draft now. I think it's going to be Cleveland. I don't know if New York off quarterback, we're going to talk about with Travis Hunter. I don't want to wait too long because it's fresh. Today I was talking to a Panthers fan in my office and there's a Giants fan there. And he said, Travis Hunter makes sense to go to the Giants because Malik Neighbors is the number 1. So you don't need Travis Hunter to be that stud receiver so early. He can play wide receiver too and play corner. You don't have to put him in an early, on early downs at receiver and let him save his breath for that, play a lot more in corner. And I was like, I can see the Giants now passing on a Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah,
wait till next year's class.
That's what I was kind of saying the other day once we saw Russ got signed there. I thought if it was just Jameis, it would be 100% it would be Sanders if he was sitting there at 3. But now they got Russ and Jameis. I mean, they're both viable quarterbacks. I mean, they're not world beaters anymore. I mean, they're almost the same quarterback besides decision making a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think they both had similar stats last year too.
I don't think because I agree with you now, but I don't agree with you to the part where I don't think Shedeur would get super mad if he has to wait 1 year behind Russ because I don't think Jameis is going to be the guy anyways. Like, yeah, he'll be on the team, but he's still learning behind Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. That's great. But now listening to like what you said compared to what this guy said about why the Giants drafting Hunter makes sense. Now I see it's either the Cleveland Browns or he falls past the Giants. Maybe like you said, I know it was a joke, but the Saints, they're in on quarterback too. Like that's a 9th overall pick. Do you pass on quarterback? Wait till next year's class? You don't want to be stuck in that revolving door of trying to get a quarterback.
Next year's class isn't guaranteed either. I mean, Manning can wait
Nussmeier.
Another year. He'll have to go.
Yeah, I think he's the early QB one. I mean, it depends on Arch does too this year. I think Nussmeier's been. I saw some reports that he was the early one. I would rather have Shador than Nussmeier. I mean,
Yeah.
I would.
Take Shador sitting a year over Nussmeier. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he'll sit behind Carr. I mean, because if he goes 9, he's not starting. I mean, he's not. It's not. He might start some
Well,
point in the
he'll
year.
probably play. Yeah,
Yeah,
Carr
he'll
will get
play.
hurt like week 6 or something like that. And
Yeah.
then he'll be thrust in there. Let him go compete with Rattler too.
Well, Spencer. Now, early. This is because I know the draft night we're going to be hammering all these picks. You know, we'll overreact. We'll react to the moment. Right now, you know, on March 27th, do you think Shador Sanders is a draft bust?
Yeah,
it's tough.
I mean, I think it depends on the situation, and I think he's going to be drafted so high, his situation is not going to be great. So I can see him being a bust. I don't think he's an NFL like starting quarterback. Not right now. I mean, he could be if he develops a little bit more, and if he's on a good offensive scheme and has other playmakers where he's not trying to be a world beater, because I don't think he's that kind of guy to be the world beater. I think he can be a viable starter at some point, but it might take him a few years to get there.
And the difference between him and Cam Ward too is Cam Ward's arm is strong. Shador's is not the strongest arm,
No.
and he's not as athletic as Cam Ward. Now they both try to do the same thing where they'll try. Like Shador did have some interceptions this year, and some of them were pretty bad. Where he's trying to use the pure arm talent that he has because he's got a very good arm, like accuracy wise, and he'll try and fit it in the tight windows. Same thing with Cam Ward, but it's just the deep ball route. That's not what he is. Like he's not looking to throw it 50, 60 yards downfield. Is that the end of the world? I mean. No, I mean, we're going to talk Quinn Ewers. I know Quinn Ewers can throw it down the field that far, but is it like the velocity isn't there for Quinn? And it's kind of the same thing for Shador. It's not the velocity-wise. He doesn't have that can of an arm that's going to put it on a rope down the field.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Shador's got he's a big question mark in the draft. Like he could be either a hit or miss kind of guy.
I think he's kind of got the high. Like I kind of agree. I think he's got the highest ceiling.
I don't know if his ceiling's higher than Ward's, but
I think Ward's ceiling. I think he's already at his ceiling. Like more, like he's already closer to that ceiling. Like I mean, I think Shador has more to still prove and show, like the untapped potential that he has.
Yeah, I mean, you put Shador behind a good offensive line, and we'll see what happens then. See if he can. O-line that he's comfortable behind, but he's going to have a lot. He's going to have a lot bigger boys that are faster chasing after him on the defensive side.
Especially if he goes to the Browns, where I already said it to you off air with Chris. The Browns are going to have O-line problems the next couple of years because all these guys that are good, that are hurt a lot, they're aging vets that are coming off contract. Don't know if they're going to keep them long term. And then if he goes to the Browns, they have the Ravens, they have the Steelers, and then of course it's the Bengals. But still, AFC North. No matter how bad the Bengals defense is, you still play physical. Like you guys are hitting each other. It's not like the Bengals. They might have a bad defense, but they're still gonna light you up. I mean, they're still gonna hit you.
It's a tough division for offenses over there because the defenses in the AFC North always pretty much ball out.
Yeah, and even if they don't ball out, and even if they don't ball, like I said, like the Browns and Bengals might have a good defense, but they're gonna hit you. Like when they hit you, you're earning those yards still. It's not like
the Browns got to deal with Myles Garrett too.
Yeah,
he's a problem.
I think the Browns though, like if they get Shador, they're in a good situation. I like Shador's ability. I like his talent. I just don't think it's going to work. I don't think Prime is necessarily going to be an issue too. I don't think he's going to be in the coach's ear. There's always going to be that, and like guys that are in the media, they're going to put that out there. I don't think Prime's going to be that big of an issue, honestly, either with Shador's career.
No, he'll probably just do kind of what he's doing now. He's like in the media here and there, doing interviews, and he'll make some comments here and they'll blow it up. But like during the season, I don't think he's gonna be too involved because he's got his own shit going on. Like
he's coaching.
I've seen some of their clips from their practices. Their quarterback's looking good.
Unless they fire Stefanski and then he's like, all right, I'm coming to Cleveland now. Now that would be interesting. But I mean, and I guarantee that gets floated around. If the Browns struggle, if they get Shador, guaranteed that gets floated around.
No, I guarantee the Browns give him a call too.
And I guarantee we'll throw in the Discord. Like we'll probably end up throwing the Discord at some point. Talking. Well, Luke, let's go to probably what most people are saying. Quarterback 3. That's Jackson Dart. Not the biggest fan of Mr. Dart out of Ole Miss. He spent 4 years there. Didn't get that 5th year because of the freshman season. He played enough time to not earn the 5th year eligibility. Luke, how do you feel about the Ole Miss Rebels starting quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I like Jackson Dart. He's solid quarterback. He's your more prototypical pocket passing kind of quarterback. He's also mobile. He can do everything. When he's
RPO's
6'2",
pretty.
220, 225. Like he's got a big frame on him, so he probably takes some big hits. Decision making. I mean, I think dude's got a great deep ball, pretty accurate, but same thing. Decision making with him, especially once he throws like one interception, and it's probably another one's coming, and he starts. I think he starts spiraling a little bit, like kind of like in the Florida game, where like the end of the fourth quarter, he threw like 3 interceptions, and they lost the game to Florida.
I mean,
probably put him out of the playoffs.
It looked like he was trying to lose too. Like, I mean,
I was like every drive, like even when he had a couple there called back that they called back, and he threw another pick right after it. And I'm like, what is this guy doing?
That's my problem with Dart is against good defenses, his career, he shrinks. I mean, I understand like, okay, good defenses are going to challenge you, but good quarterbacks overcome that. Like I understand a bad game here, a bad game there, but you go look at most of the games against like the Georgias, the Alabamas, guys like that, his very poor decision-making, like you said, he's inconsistent. I don't trust him. Now, is he good intermediate passing? Is he good with the RPO? Is he athletic? Does he have a good live arm? Yes, those are the strengths of Jackson Dart. But when you play against good defenses, by the way, you're going to play against good defenses in the NFL. More competitive, too, not like college where you're got more talent against most teams that you're playing. It's going to be every day. Like, can you do this every single week? And I don't think Jackson Dart can. Do I think he's quarterback 3? Sure, he's probably QB 3, but I've never been a fan of Jackson Dart. He also plays in an offense. I'm not going to lie. The offense is stupid. The offense is dumb. And just what he's going to be coming in the NFL is completely different. And I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I think he's got a guy like he's going to be a project a little bit. He's going to have to sit behind a veteran quarterback for a year or two, learn the offense, learn how to be a professional quarterback in the NFL. But I mean, he's got all the talent to be there. It's his decision making. I think that's his biggest thing holding him up, and getting over the fear of top tier defenses coming after him.
You think he's a sleeper to get back in the first round? Maybe like a team
gets
like a 5th-year option.
I think he'll come in the first round. I think somebody will take him. I think there's only 3 quarterbacks really that will go in the first round this year.
Yeah,
I think Ward, Sanders, and Dart. After that, I think second round, I don't think any quarterbacks really go. Maybe you see a guy 1 or 2 in the third, and the rest will be like day 3 guys.
Do you think now? Okay, I mentioned sleeper to come back in the first round. Now, I've seen some reports. I know you have too. Can Jackson Dart sneak into the top 10? Maybe the Saints if the Browns go Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how desperate the Saints really are. If I don't know how much they've looked into Jackson Dart. I know they've looked into Cam Ward quite a bit. I think they've looked into Shedeur quite a bit, and they're looking at some of the middle round guys. But I don't know how much I haven't seen too much of them looking in Jackson Dart. I don't know.
Saints are a wild card team. Like you just don't know. Like I saw Jake. When we did our mock draft, he did Barron, and then I saw another mock draft crew where they did the same kind of draft, like what we would do, and they mentioned why Barron makes sense because they drafted Barron. I'm like, okay, well maybe Jake is on his own. Maybe. Because he's an all-around defensive back. Maybe the Saints, because they do need that. They don't really have a secondary.
The Saints need a little bit of everything right now anyway. So
yeah.
And they need a little bit of everything. They need wide receivers. They need running back. And they need defense. They need quarterback.
Now, if the Browns passed on quarterback, maybe they trade back into the first round and get Jackson Dart because they have the 3rd pick in the second round. Maybe they trade with like the Chiefs or someone at the very end of that first round just to get that 5th-year option.
Yeah, kind of what the Ravens did with Lamar.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, you guys traded a pretty decent, like not like a lot, but like.
Oh yeah, because we were in the back of the draft.
Yeah, I think that year you guys were in the middle of the draft. I think that was like y'all's work because like you guys are coming off like a 500 season or something like that.
Yeah, I think Flacco was hurt that year. And
yeah,
we did our quarterback carousel where we had like. Matt Castle play, not Matt Castle. The quarterback that passed away.
Haskins? No, that wasn't Haskins. Haskins was
no,
there
not
yet.
Haskins. White dude. Oh, what's his name?
Who passed away? That was a white dude. Only quarterback I could think of that passed away recently was Haskins.
No, it was after Haskins.
Well, it had to be before because Haskins came in 2019.
Oh, maybe
19,
not.
I
I
believe.
don't remember exactly.
Here, I got you right here. Yeah, because now I'm curious, like, which quarterback passed away? Like, oh, you mean after he passed away after Haskins? So
Yeah, I think he
you're
passed away after Haskins.
so yeah, the Ravens in 20. So you guys went 9-7. So you guys were second in the division. You had Flacco start the season. Damn, now I'm trying to figure out who you guys.
Was it that season we had a quarterback rotation? I know there's one season Flacco got hurt for like a good part of the season.
Here it is, Ryan Mallett.
Mallet, yeah.
Yeah, Arkansas boy. Shout out to Arkansas. They're actually playing tonight against old Texas Tech. So no, Luke. Yeah, man. Damn, I forgot about Ryan Mallett.
Yeah. It was tough times watching the Ravens play football then with no Flacco.
Well, you guys traded up, and then you guys got Lamar. I think, like I said, I think y'all came back from like the middle of the second round, and then you gave up whatever you gave up for him, and now like that's the recipe. Teddy Bridgewater. They did that before you guys did that with Lamar. The Vikings did the same thing, and I believe they might have traded with you guys. No, I'm not sure they traded their second pick, but they came up. Same thing. But Luke, let's talk quarterback number 4. Now, I've seen so many different scenarios of who quarterback 4 is. Is it Jalen Milroe? Is it Will Howard, Quinn Ewers, Kyle McCord, the boy from Louisville who you mentioned, Tyler Shao, whatever his name is. I'm not trying to pronounce it wrong. He's popped up. I don't think your boy Dylan Gabriel's wide receiver 4. I think he's probably. No. I think he's or not wide receiver, quarterback 4. Which of these guys is making that case to be quarterback 4? Maybe that sleeper in the mid round, which we'll talk who our sleeper is in this draft.
I think Jalen Milroe is making himself some money, especially with his pro day performance. He showed how fast he is. He ran like a 4.3 something.
Blazing. He's fast.
Yeah, so he's fast. I mean, he'll go boards a little bit more just because his athletic ability. Project quarterback, kind of like similar to what happened with Anthony Richardson. I mean,
they literally remind me of each other.
Was terrible in college and flew up draft boards because his underwear show.
I'll say Milroe. I would say Milroe has had a better college career. Now he did start the extra year. He's got more playing time. I think he has got a better arm, stronger. I mean, their arms are both strong, but I think he is a little more accurate. But he has that roller coaster vibe, Luke, where he'll be good for 2 games, and then he'll suck for 2 games. And I mean, that's maybe the consistency with him. But I feel like it's too much of a roller coaster. And he's an athlete. I mean, he's athletic.
I mean, he's a project quarterback, but I think his upside might have some teams take some risk on him and draft him over some of these other guys. That the most of these other guys are pretty much just average quarterbacks. Like they'll be career backup guys, I think. For the most part.
Yeah, I agree that most of these guys.
There's not much that separates like Will Howard, Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers. Like they're basically the same guy.
Yeah, same.
Looking at them, they're. Yeah. They're all pretty much the same to me. Even Shao or McCord,
Well, the thing with Shao is he didn't have much. Like he was hurt a lot. Like I mean, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard. Like they said, if he maybe played 2 or 3 seasons, he could rival Cam Ward as quarterback 1. But the problem is, like you guys make fun of Michael Penix for how old he is. This guy is going to be 26 if he starts year 1. Like Michael Penix is only 25 or turning 25. Yeah. He's starting his first year. Obviously, he started some games last year, but same thing with Jaden Daniels. They're the same age, but this guy's coming in the league at 26 years old, and he's got major issues with injuries as well.
Yeah. So I mean, I think just his upside is what's going to Milroe's upside is what's going to drive him up the boards ahead of some of these the average white dudes.
The guys that are. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like project wise, if you can make it work. Like I know Josh Allen was a project that obviously worked. Anthony Richardson's a project that's not working at the moment. They brought in Daniel Jones. In my opinion, Daniel Jones was a project too. Mm-hmm. And they got the playoff win and whatnot. But Jalen Milroe, we saw like against LSU. We watched that game together. He won that game. He just ran the ball. He only had like 100 yards passing, but damn near had like
300 yards rushing.
Yeah, that was a separator, and LSU is like not some scrub like team. It's LSU, and I believe it was in Baton Rouge. I think it was in LSU.
It was at night.
Yeah, I mean it was. Yeah, it was Tiger. The fake Tiger came out too. The fake Tiger in the cage was there, and like you said, that right there might get him the edge over these other guys. Like like we mentioned that are very similar. I don't know if he ever is going to mount to be a starter. Maybe he gets to play some playing time here and there if someone gets hurt, and that's where he shows his potential. But I mean, if you let him sit for 2 or 3 years as maybe like a round 3 quarterback, why not? I mean, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what the Patriots did, where they just took Joe Milton anyways. Just see what happens. Now he's got trade interest, and
yeah.
so,
Could I see the Raiders drafting him in the middle rounds? Yeah, I could see the Raiders letting Geno work with him, or even like the Seahawks up there with Sam Darnold. I could see that. I wanted to talk Jackson Dart real quick. By the way, another name, I don't know if they get the Rams. I've been seeing McVay with the Rams, by the way, with Jackson Dart. Because you got Stafford getting old. But yeah, I think Milroe, I mean, like some of these teams that could use quarterback in a few years, why not? Maybe even Dallas in a couple years. Like, if
I think Dallas has been looking at him quite a bit. I think they looked at yours too a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they also have easy access to
guy.
Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, easy access for them. He's only a couple hours away. But no, Luke, let's talk Quinn Ewers because I think a lot of people has him as quarterback 5. I think Quinn Ewers does the good things 20 yards and in. He's a very good quarterback. If you want good, short, intermediate passing, maybe a little bit of 15 yards down the field, he's got a good ball. Now, if you're going anything past that, especially in 2024, his field vision took a very big step back. When he got pressured, that took a step back. Now, were there some moments he looked good, like the old Quinn Ewers? Sure. But it was just too inconsistent with me. I still love him. I think he's still a good college quarterback. But I always said he's a good college quarterback, not going to go do much in the NFL as a starter. I also think the injury concerns, I've said that since day one. He's fragile. Yeah. I mean, his body gets hurt very easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the last, 2 years. He's had
3 seasons.
Yeah. He's had pretty significant injuries where he's missed multiple games in a row. So, I mean, and it's I get the one hit against Alabama. That
was dirty.
Cheap shot. It was dirty. And it looked like it hurt. But this year, his hit didn't look too bad, but his was his oblique or something like that?
It was oblique. He got hit and then he made a great throw, and then after that drive, it took him out.
Came out.
Yeah, it took him out. And then last year, I forgot which injury. I think, last year he lowered his shoulder, and I believe he hit his. Now that one looked like he just trucked the guy, and I mean, he might have won the battle there, but he got hurt, and the long, the end result of that.
So I mean, he's also an up and down kind of guy. It seems like big games he kind of crumbles a little bit. I mean, the Georgia just had that top tier defense, and he just couldn't really get it done against Georgia. Then
I thought the second Georgia game, I thought he played good. I thought the SEC championship. Now, did he have a couple bad throws? Yes. Now there were also some drops that he dropped it in a bucket. And there were some drops in the end zone.
Bond had a tough day.
Bond, and I believe Golden
was your best wide receiver.
He was, but I believe it was either Wingo or Golden, and that was the one he placed it in double coverage perfectly with no defender. I mean, it was the best throw, one of the best throws I've ever seen. I mean, it was just the placement of the ball was right there. I mean, it was tough coverage, and the receiver dropped it. And I mean, like I said, you can't do it against Georgia's. You can't do it against good defenses. Now, first game against Georgia, nobody on the team looked good. The O-line looked bad. He looked bad. Arch came in. He looked bad. I mean, it was just a bad day in general. But yeah, I just don't think Quinn has that pedigree to be a starting quarterback. Now, could I see a guy like Pete Carroll taking a chance, kind of like Russell Wilson? Yeah, I could see a guy like Pete Carroll taking a chance on Quinn Ewers in the 4th round. I could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see him being a starter or a long-term starter in the NFL. He's too fragile, inconsistent. I mean, he'll be a solid backup. He'll be just like Colt McCoy. Career backup somewhere.
That sucked because Colt was actually, we could hate on Colt's NFL career. That man was good in college. I mean, he was a baller.
Yeah, he won a natty.
He went to a natty. He unfortunately
he lost it.
Yeah, he was.
You guys won it.
No, yeah, we lost to Alabama. We were winning when he got hurt.
Oh,
you never know what happened. It was a close game. You never know what happened.
Who knows what would happen?
Alabama at the time, Texas quarterbacks. It was a trend. They hurt him. They hurt Quinn. So, I mean, it is what it is. But, no, I think guys, like you said, and then, We can even talk McCord. I mean, McCord in Ohio State looked weird. But then when he went to Syracuse, he balled out. Now, he had that bad 5-interception game, but he balled out. I mean, when they gave him a good pocket, he was slinging the rock all over the place.
Yeah, he beat Miami.
He did beat Miami's defense was terrible. I mean,
Oh,
anyone was putting points on them besides Florida State.
And Florida.
Hey, and Florida.
They blew Florida out.
That was in the swamp.
You went to that one again, didn't you?
No, Tony, he bought 4 tickets, but it was for the Hurricanes and the Gators fans. I did not get that invite. Going to the Gator game this year against Texas with Wade.
Yeah, that would be. Hey, it's a rough place to be wearing orange. You might just want to wear a plain shirt.
Nope, I'm wearing an orange or a Vince Young jersey.
Learn the hard way. Learn the hard way wearing some purple and yellow 1 year.
I'm still not a fan of Kyle McCord. So he looked good. I mean, we saw one year without talent, and he looked good, but then with the talent, he still looked average to me. And I just back up to me. Yeah, Will Howard, I think Will Howard. I mean, he averaged regular season, but he balled out in the playoffs. So it's like, which Will Howard are we getting? But he's the same thing. He's the best talent in the fucking world.
Yeah, I mean, he's got one of the best wide receivers in college football is a true freshman.
Yeah, they said if he was playing right now, he's the number 1 pick if he came out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Egbuka, who has 2 1,100-yard seasons.
Yeah, and he'll be probably first-round pick.
Yeah, maybe somewhere in the middle to late first round.
Yeah. So he has multiple first-round picks at wide receiver.
Oh, and
he's playing with
2 running backs, Juckins and Henderson, who everyone loves.
That'll probably
second rounders. Picks. Yeah, second, third rounders. You might, maybe one of those guys gets that third running back for me.
I don't know about all that. I think just still two running backs in the first. Yeah, it's a tough one. No, I think they fly off the board in the second, third round though.
Yeah. I mean, I think we get 2 in the first, and we'll see. But yeah, I think quarterback 4 and beyond, Luke. I mean, then that goes to who, if you even have one, who would be your sleeper quarterback in this draft?
Sleeper quarterback. I would say my boy Dillon Gabriel.
A lot of experience,
Yeah, a lot of experience. I think if Miami can grab him like the 4th, 5th round or something like that, put him behind Tua. They're both lefties. They're both Hawaiian. They both know each other. I think they played against each other in high school. They're friends. I mean, it makes all the sense to go for Miami to go get Dillon Gabriel and put him as the backup. And what's going to happen? Tua's going to get hurt. You can run the same offense with Dillon Gabriel. Nothing changes.
The only thing that changes is Gabriel can move.
Yeah, he can run. I mean, I think he's a super accurate quarterback. I mean, he's got a good deep ball. Decision making is really good. But I don't know. I mean, he had a lot of talent over at Oregon. I mean, he's a competitor too. Like Duke ball out. I've watched him play live a couple times. So
he was good in Oklahoma too. I mean, he didn't have a bad year.
He was good at UCF.
He beat Texas in the Red River rivalry. I mean,
he put the team on his back for that game too.
Hey, he was running all over the field. He was slinging the rock. I mean, I give it to him, man. He was hard that game. He was tough to beat down. And I mean, it is what it is. And then he goes to Oregon and he does what Bo Nix did. Yeah, he did. Bo Nix came in, looked good. Now Bo Nix that actually changed Bo Nix's trajectory, and it made him a first rounder. Unfortunately, I don't think it's happened for Dillon.
No,
but
I think Dillon Gabriel's a little undersized.
5'11".
Yeah, let's see.
On the nice side, he's 5'11".
Let's see what they have him listed at. They have him listed here at 6 foot 200.
That's nice. That's really nice.
They round up a little bit on that.
Those are those pro day guys that are.
That's off PFF. So I mean, it's a trusted source.
They are a trusted source, but I think that's the pro day guys probably. I think the University of Oregon gave those measurements to him.
Yeah.
No, I think a steal. I mean, I really think that I don't.
It's tough.
I mean, like I said, like if someone gets with Pete Carroll, like we're like one of those mid-round guys, and they build the Vegas Raiders pretty good. I can see that. I can see Seattle if they hit well with McDonald and whatever the OC can do. I can see. I just don't think Riley Leonard. I don't think. I don't think that those guys are the guys. I think
I do like Riley Leonard though. I mean, dude's tough. I mean, he played some great ball at Notre Dame, and especially at the end of the season.
yeah, because no one had them going to the championship.
Yeah, so I mean, they're playing great ball at the end of the season, and Riley Leonard was all over the field. Like, he's doing everything.
Yeah, he was.
Dude was like being fucking carried to like the next play, like in between plays. The linemen were like having to carry him forward.
But see, now Will Howard's doing the same thing. Will Howard's a little bulldozer in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, he was running the ball too. Now he's not speedster or anything, but he was bulldozing guys over. I mean, he was running guys over.
Yeah. So I mean,
I just don't know. This is one of the weirdest draft like quarterback classes. I think it's better than the 2022 class with Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis, who was actually the third quarterback. Number 2 was Desmond Ridder that year. Now they did have Brock Purdy, but like he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Pretty bad draft class.
Pretty bad.
Only one starting.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have like 2020 was Herbert and Burrow and Tua. I mean, that's I don't know, 2020. That's not a terrible draft class, I would say. And then 2021, that was a weird one. Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields and them. Trey Lance, being scouted by I think some XFL, USFL team or CFL.
Yeah, I saw that, or AFL, whatever they call it now.
Last year's was pretty good. 23, Bryce Young looked a little better, and CJ progressed. So I mean, we'll see what those two do. But yeah, it's a weird class, Luke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on any of the quarterbacks. I think last year's quarterbacks, I think they all would have probably got drafted ahead of these guys, except for maybe Cam Ward. He might have made it in the middle of the pack, but out of everybody, Cam Ward would not have been the first pick in last year's draft. He wouldn't have been the second pick in last year's draft either at quarterback. I like maybe the third quarterback off the board would be Cam Ward if he was drafted last year.
Well, yeah, because the QBs went Caleb, Daniels, Penix.
Yeah, I think he would have got drafted over Penix. Cam Ward.
No, I'm sorry. It was Drake May was 3, Penix was 4, JJ was 5, Bo Nix was 6.
I think Drake May still would have got drafted over.
So 4, he'd have been over Penix.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I would take Cam. I'd take Cam on the Falcons if we would have done that all over again.
But
no, yeah, Luke. Next week we're going to talk running backs, receivers. We're going to get that in here. We still have part of the tight ends with that. It's a couple tight ends, and then a couple weeks we'll start doing some defensive guys like the D line, edge rushers together. Throw that with linebackers, and then we'll have secondary, and then we'll have our final mock draft. And then guess what? The show is here.
Yeah. That mock draft's going to be a doozy to put together. I have no idea what I want to do.
It's going to be a shit show. I think the number 1 pick is kind of balance out with all of us. I think we're mostly going to have Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think that one's the only lock.
And then the Cleveland Browns and on.
Yeah, because I mean, I could see the Browns taking Carter, or I could see him taking Sanders.
And I could still see him taking
Hunter, yeah.
And then
Carter and Myles Garrett together would be fucking nasty.
I think if Shedeur, I think if Hunter goes 2, I think the Giants trade back, and I think guys like the Panthers might take up and go do a Carter because they need pass rusher. I think Carter and Hunter are the 2 trade pieces that people might trade up for in the top 3 or 4. Yeah,
I don't know. Hopefully this draft's exciting. I mean, last year's started off slow, then it started spiraling. Once the Falcons got on the board. After the Falcons pick, it just started spiraling.
Well, I saw a mock draft the other day that they did a what would you do draft like we did, and they had the Jacksonville Jaguars going Ashton Jeanty. And if we see that, I think that's going to flip the draft up. I think that would flip the draft upside down. If someone like Jacksonville went Jeanty, or like the Jets did something crazy around that top 10 pick, it would be nuts. Yeah. If the Saints went Jeanty, that'd be crazy. Like if Jeanty gets drafted by one of these first few teams in the top 10 that not expected to do, that's going to flip because that might make people start drafting running backs early.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gentry. I think he doesn't make it out of the top 10. I don't think. I think somebody will go get him if he's available. I think the Saints probably take him if Sanders and like Sanders is gone. I think Saints might go get him.
I think the most popular place is the Raiders, followed by the Bears for Gentry, which would be 6
Yeah.
and then 10. I don't think Dallas is going. I think if Gentry falls, I don't think he goes. I don't think Dallas goes running back that early. I think they will.
Yeah, I think they'll get one in the second or third round, but I don't think they're going. All right, Jerry Jones is going to do whatever fuck he wants to do.
It's his team.
Yeah, it is his team.
Yeah, he's got papers to prove it.
Yeah, it is his team.
Owns the stadium too. Owns that.
Yeah, owns the area next to the stadium too with all the bars, all Texas Live.
Yeah, I saw he makes like $60,000 in one NFL weekend.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
Yeah, his family's doing. Yeah, his family's doing okay.
Can't build a good team, but he can make a profitable one.
He used to be able to build a good team.
Yeah,
in the 90s, a long time ago.
Yeah, but he can figure out how to make some money.
Oh yeah, I mean, success with that. Luke, though, can't wait to get here. And like I said, good luck the rest of the year to those Baltimore Orioles, man. Those O's. They look good.
Go O's.
They killed the Blue Jays. Might be going to an Orioles game this year in a few weeks, actually, middle of April. Might go up to Maryland. I'll have a 3-day weekend. I might drive up to my cousin's house. And
Camden Yards is sweet.
I heard it's one of the nicest ballparks in the MLB.
Yeah,
like everyone says it's like top 3, top 5. Everyone.
Yeah, I went to a few games up there. It was sweet.
I told him I was like, hey, man, I was like, where do you sit? He was like, left field. I was like, well, you're sitting on the wall right now for like $75, $80. He's like, no way. I was like, I'm telling you right now, you're playing the Blue Jays, so tickets aren't jacked up. It's not like you're playing the Yankees or Red Sox or whoever. That's a big name. So yeah, like those. I mean, it's still Baltimore's pretty good, but like when you play shitty competition, or shitty franchise name, the tickets stay pretty good pricing. So I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's go to Baltimore at night. Watch the game. But Luke, can't wait to be back here. We'll talk over the weekend. Like I said, next week we'll talk a little bit of the running backs and receivers. And so we're getting closer and closer. We are literally less than a month away. April 25th. Can't wait. I'm sorry, April 24th. Can't wait for this draft, Luke. I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke Rule. This is All About the Balls podcast. Have a great night. Have a great weekend.